The views, opinions, and stories shared on this show are based on personal experiences of the hosts and guests. They are intended for entertainment and educational purposes only. Some content may include mature themes, strong language, or descriptions of past criminal activity. These accounts do not glorify or promote illegal behavior. Viewer discretion is strongly advised.
You deserve to eat like this. Let me feed you.
You deserve to eat like this. Let me feed you.
2832 Ridge Avenue, for Hilltop Marine. Let me feed you.
All right, bro, what you about to do?
Oh man, I'm about to do that RHU shoe meal. Lost so much weight, I gotta get that weight back. You heard me? I gotta get back quick. You heard me? So this everything is just a combine. We merging everything together. It ain't even no meal. It's just to get your weight back.
Well, still get busy.
Man, we're about to put this thing in order. You hear me?
All right, now.
You gotta pray. You know, it's about to come together like it's supposed to. You know, we double this back. We're gonna put this together. This is a no meal. This is just get your weight up meal. You know? Get your weight up meal. You know what I mean?
All right, so you've been on them drills for a minute, but who taught you how to cook? Do you remember?
Yeah, just basically just going through the system, man, knowing that they can't cook in the child hall, so you gotta learn how to cook in yourself.
You gotta learn how to get busy.
You cooking yourself. They can't cook in the child. You got a bunch of racist rednecks making your food. So one thing I learned is watch your mama and them cook. And guess what? Watch your mama and them cook. Taught me how to cook.
Hey, yo, what's going on? It's your girl, Ty Moneybags, BT First Inside Policy or whatever. Y'all know what goes on this side. And today, you have tuned into another episode of Chatting Over Chi-Chis. And I got one of the realest. I'm proud to call this guy my brother. Y'all already know. He really don't need no introduction, but we're going to go ahead and give it to him anyway. Worldwide Buff. What's going on, bro?
You already know, man. I'm just here eating this food, man. It's Chi-Chi, you heard me? So I had to come up here and pull up and get this Chi-Chi right. You know what I'm saying? I see everybody making their food on there. You know, I said when I come back to the city, I'm definitely going to pop in, pop out, you know. But
pop right in.
For the most part, though, man, I really appreciate just being on your show, man.
No doubt.
This is definitely an honor, you know, especially coming from a real one, coming from the city of Philadelphia. Y'all don't know. Y'all know. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
She respected. She protected by a lot of real men and women out here, you know. So y'all see up in traffic in public, man, pay homage, you know what I'm saying? She do a lot of work for the community, you know what I'm saying? She did that time behind the walls, ain't never opened her mouth with the federal authorities, state authorities, you know what I'm saying? So anything she have going on, man, support the sister, man. Support her, man. Don't just ride by, beep the horn, get out. Her food is all that, customer service is all that, you know what I'm saying? I noticed something that she went up to the jails like a week ago. Man, you had them goddamn oppressors giving you a hard time. You was trying to feed them sisters up there.
Feed the sisters, man. They played in my face twice. But it ain't over though. I'm riding, I'm coming. I'm spinning the block. I'm a spinner, that's what I do. I'll be back.
Damn, you hear that though?
Nonetheless, tell the people about you, bro. Man, tell the people what was Young Puff like? What was it like growing up for Puff?
Man, Young Puff was basically like, you know, Young Puff was going through a lot, man, a lot of mental health, you know, losing a lot of homies behind the penitentiary walls, you know, just being able to, you know, endure so much, man, coming from a city of Philadelphia, North Philadelphia, you know, coming from the projects, coming from the ghetto, you know what I'm saying? Whereas though, you know, we ain't loved, you know, and that's why I say like, you know, the Young Puff was a menace to society. You know, and if you know, man. So, you know, what you see, man, like now it's just me being reformed. That's all, you know, me being reformed.
What influenced that, though? Like,
honestly,
was it a person? Was it the environment? What influenced Young Puff's way of thinking?
It was really the love of, like, you know what I'm saying, real guys, man. Like, you know, the real guys in my neighborhood, you know, the real guys coming from my neighborhood that was disappearing at a rapid rate. You'll see in one month, you'll see in 1 year, and then they disappear, and then you asking, inquiring about these brothers. Now they in the penitentiary with a year, 2 years, 3 years, a life sentence, 2 life sentences. So it was like they was kidnapping all our leaders in our hoods, you know. And as we start committing crimes and getting involved with crimes, we start seeing these great leaders in the penitentiary, you know. And the plan was, you know, where y'all go back home to society, because a lot of them wasn't coming back home. So they was giving us a lot of game, like, you know, that we didn't really know. You know, when y'all get back to the streets, this is what y'all got to do to avoid the tricks and the game plan that these devils got up here. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times, like, you know, we was meeting a lot of our leaders behind enemy lines. You know, so that's what really influenced me, man. A lot of top notch, polished cats coming from, you know, the city of Philadelphia. You know, all in all, South Philly, West Philly, North Philly. You know. It's a lot of great men that come from out of there, you know. Then not only so much that, you know, getting a lot of good game from the sisters that was coming from the city, you know. So, you know, that's what really took that toll.
What led you to the streets?
Shit, what led me to the streets, just knowing that, you know, I had to be there for, like, you know, a lot of the guys, you know, a lot of the guys and a lot of my homies, you know. When you in the streets, you take an oath to, like, you know, a lot of responsibility, meaning that if I'm waking up in the morning, I'm calling your phone and, you know, you one of my homies, you know, I have an obligation, you know what I'm saying, to be down by law with you. You know what I'm saying? That if you go behind the walls, I got to answer your calls. I got to make sure that I do everything that I told myself I'm going to do to you, basically like an oath, you know, it's like a street oath. And, you know, just as well as I know that Philadelphia, we wasn't really big on gangs, you know what I'm saying? Right. Crips, Bloods, GDs, Vice Lords, you know, so a lot of times, like, you know, that was our oath as gang members, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, look, I'm gonna be down with my homie, like, you know what I'm saying? Whatever block you from, we all we got. So a lot of times, like, you know, when I was like basically in the streets, I took that oath. If I like, you know, if I deal with you, I'm gonna deal with you, you know what I mean? And at the end of the day, anybody that know, they know that, you know what I'm saying? I never left no man behind them walls. You know, I stay in them prisons, you know what I'm saying? So that's the stronghold I got on my city, you know what I'm saying? Just being tied in with, like, you know, a lot of good members, you know?
Right. How do you think prison transformed you?
Shit, I say that to say, man, once again, it was just basically like the time that I seen them giving, like, a lot of great guys, man, that they still giving it out. You know, they giving out a lot of great time, man, a lot of great time. And this time that they giving out is like, we can't get back. We can't get that time back, you know? So how it transformed me, just knowing that, like, you know, these guys that I'm never going to see them again on the streets, you know what I'm saying? Unless they pass these laws, you know? So me learning these guys, studying these guys, seeing that these guys was really, really honorable in the streets and behind the walls, you know? It's just incarceration, you know? Incarceration really, like, changed it. You know, they changed the game plan, you know, mainly federal, you know? Once you go federal, like, federal is just, it's different. It's a different ball game, you know? It's just that federal is just like, you know, the state is just like the federal is just, you know, because you're dealing with brothers from all over the world, you know?
Absolutely.
So with that being said, like, you know, it changed my mind. Then I don't so much that educate myself, you know? I educated myself to the highest and the maximum extent, you know? Sneaking books in, getting books snuck into jail that I know that if y'all get these books, y'all know that at the end of the day, y'all gonna lock me down for a long time, you know? So once you get that information, there ain't nothing you can do to take that away from me, you know?
Absolutely. What does that do for your mind, knowing that somebody could do something so harsh, like hiding knowledge from you, like taking knowledge from you, having that much power to tell you you can't read this type of book as a man?
It's a sign of disrespect. It's oppression, you know? It's oppression by the enemy, you know? So a lot of times, like, you know, me, when I used to be in the prison, like, I used to catch a lot of assaults, you know? A lot of assaults on prison officers, you know? That's how I get, like, control over the jails. I get control over the jails by, like, assaulting the police, the people that I know you're afraid of, that I know you ain't gonna do nothing to. You're gonna run from them. I'm gonna assault them. So now that I got the police and I assault the police, it's easy to really get y'all in the back of my pocket because I know y'all ain't got the heart to do what I do to the police. So with that being said, it was just like, you know, them hiding certain things from me. The police start respecting me because at the end of the day, it's like they know that I was very intelligent. You know, at the end of the day, you can say what you want to say. I know I'm intelligent when it comes to, like, you know what I'm saying, learning and, like, you know, applying information, you know. So a lot of times they really, like, put guys like me behind the walls and don't let me out the hole because they say that I'm an influence, you know what I'm saying? I'm a threat to their population. And really it's just about I know how to deal with like, people. I know how to deal with younger people. This is why I'm 45 years old and I can get 45 younger brothers right here at a drop of a dime and I ain't gotta manipulate them or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? I understand them, because once again, I come from the environment of what? The hood, the ghetto, you know what I'm saying? And that's basically what it is. So with that being said, like that information, man, that information is key, that
Absolutely.
information.
So in men's prison, there's a lot of geographical diversity and a bunch of things that go on. What type of influence did that have on you or you had on it?
Well, when I seen that geographical, I could break through that. Like I like to break through that geographical because I know how to put them all together, all in one. Know how to put like any neighborhood you from, any neighborhood you claiming, whether it's North Philly, South Philly, Bloods, Crips, GDs. Like I know how to get a hold of the leader. If you say you're a leader, I can get a hold of you.
For sure.
Because it's a language,
Absolutely.
and that's what like a lot of brothers like, and sisters they like, they lack in that language barrier. So again, like I don't care if you're Dominican, Boricua, Mexican, Haitian. If you're a leader and you say you're from the hood and you're a leader, I know how to get through to you, without nobody being around, because we have something in common, and that's the thing about it. Even with women, I know how to get through women that say they leaders, that stand up. If you going through the prison and you providing and you there with your man and you going to that prison every week and you going and you answering that call, it's the language.
For sure.
It's just the language, man. You know what I'm saying? So again, like I know how to get with the leaders,
For sure.
That's what makes you a threat when you be able to get a hold of the leaders that can get other coming leaders,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, food has a way of bringing people together or dividing them in prison. What did it do for you?
It changed my mind state. It just changed like from me going from 0 to 100, I ain't gotta go from 0 to 100 no more.
How so?
Because it's just, I just don't gotta go from 0 to 100 no more. You know what I'm saying? Like influence.
Gotcha.
And I don't rap, I don't sing, I don't play ball, I don't do none of that. You know what I'm saying? But I do provide for the community. I do engage in the community. I'm always in every city and state. Sure. It don't matter what city and state you are in. I'm in your city and state, and I know who's in that city and state. Right. So that's how it works for me. Whatever city I'm in, I'm tapped in. So that's what I don't worry about. I don't worry about your name. I don't worry about none of that. You know what I'm saying? Because somebody got to answer to somebody.
There you go.
And it's called protocol, and it's called chain of command.
Right. So, how do you feel about the state of the youth right now?
Man, depressing. It's depressing, and the reason why it's depressing because a lot of our youth, they don't know what time it is, A lot of them don't really know what time it is until they do their first 24 months, 36 months behind that wall, and it's just like they run across brothers that got that 20 in, that 18 in, that 17 in, and you showing them images of like, you know what I mean? You're gonna show who you was, on the blacktop, meaning the streets. You're gonna show who you was for the first 5 years.
Yeah.
That shit die out, you know what I mean? That shit die out.
Quick.
Nobody don't wanna pick up the phones, nobody don't wanna come up in the mountains no more, so it's hurting us in a way where as though, there's nobody out here speaking up. And I get invited to a lot of shows, but it be the characters that be behind these shows, you know what I mean? That be want you to get on these shows and speak. The characters don't really be up to par for me, you know what I mean?
For sure.
And I just know me, like, you know what I mean? Like I'm heavy in the city, so, I can change a lot, but I don't really get involved with politics and getting with like, government officials and all that, you know what I mean?
Sure.
Like I can only get with that if I'm like given permission, you know what I'm saying, by like, my higher ups,
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm not given permission to like reach out to the youth, I don't really like tap into that, because again, like it's like it's a money thing, I don't see nobody really doing it for the love of like, what I'm saying, reaching out to the youth. everything's about a 501(c), you know, some type of grant or anything like that. And anything I do it like, you know what I'm saying, coming from the heart, you know.
Absolutely.
So with that being said, like, you know, that's all I can really give you, like, you know.
If you had a message for him, what would it be?
Man, if I had a message for him, man, it'd be like, you know, don't label yourself as a gang member, you know. Them labels, man, that's what's really getting us, them labels, man, because they making laws every day for them labels, you know.
Absolutely.
Whatever you're a part of, you know what I'm saying, they shouldn't really know what you're a part of, you know what I mean? You know, so with that being said, it's really harder for them to really get back in the courts because the eye in the sky, them cameras, you know.
Absolutely.
So that's why they letting a lot of brothers come home from, like, you know, the penitentiary that fell in the 80s and the 90s, because it's like they figure, like, you know, back then they didn't really have cameras. They didn't have no devices. Now with these devices now, and if you figure if we let 100 of the old 80, 90s, 2000 men out, you know what I'm saying, and put a new 2015, 2017, 18, they stuck like Chuck, you know what I mean?
Sure.
Because at the end of the day, they caught on camera with Blick, they caught on camera with Stick, they caught on camera with drills, you know? So with that, it's like, you know, they really buried themselves, you know, and they know that. So that's why they like, yo, I'm coming home, yeah, you coming home, because back then they didn't really have like no device to really ping you up on no crime, you know?
Right. And crime was going on back in the day, back in our day, just as much as it was going on now, right?
Right.
What do you think the difference is between them, the youth today, growing up, and us growing up? Because there was always violence. Maybe not to this capacity, but what do you think the difference is?
The difference is now is that you see a lot of children now, and it's like it's senseless. You know, it's senseless, you know, and a lot of it, like, believe it or not, a lot of it have to do with mental health, man. You know, a lot of us is suffering from mental health. You know, because I suffer from it, you know. A lot of times, you know, being behind the prison wall, man, when I used to put that belt to ass, like, in there, you know what I mean? It's just like, you know, always fighting, always stabbing. Like, why are you always mental health?
Yeah.
You know, never took no medication, never was like on medication, never was Thorazine, never tried to commit suicide, none of that. It was just hate my own kind, you know what I mean? Just seeing my bros come in there is just, you know what I mean? And my whole thing is like, once you start getting around, like, you know, brothers that's really polished, that's really like, you know, sophisticated and educated, you start learning, like, you know, at the end of the day, these little bros is not my ops.
Right.
You know, and this is why you notice, like, more with me, I'm being more and more around youth. You know, that's why you see brothers like Wesley Muhammad right here, you know what I'm saying? This little brother is 14. He was 14 years old, he went into school. He's 16 years old in college.
Right. Heavy.
That's dope.
Heavy.
They won't rap about it.
No.
They won't put that on the news. Nobody won't post him on the page. But you'll post Lil Ray Ray and Lil Boo Boo pulling it off, you know what I'm saying?
Shot up the cookout.
It just shot up the cookout with the little babies running around. So with that being said, it's like, you know, I'm supporting more of the youth that I'm like, damn, that's admiring, you know? You know, when I see that, like, you know what I'm saying, it does something to me, because it's like, this is something that I always wanted to be a part of, you know what I'm saying? The sophisticated and the education perspective of, like, you know, the intelligence of like babies such as that. You know, and it's like I say, like, you know, if I have a message for them, like, youngest, man, read the law. If you don't know nothing else, man, get into the LexisNexis, man. Get into your Black Law Dictionary. You know what I'm saying? Get into, like, you know what I'm saying, Busted by the Feds, you know what I'm saying? Get into, like, you know what I'm saying, Pennsylvania rules and procedures. Like, you know, get up on books that's gonna really save you, you know what I'm saying? You running around with these poles and these choppers, you know what I'm saying? Get into, like, you know, them 922 Gs, you know what I'm saying? And, like, you know, them 841s, you know what I'm saying? And them Ricos, you know what I'm saying? Them phone taps and them wiretaps, because it's gonna get real. It's gonna get really real. Like, and like, honestly, if you don't really see it, man, you don't gotta listen. Cause I ain't gonna be on no podcast. I ain't gonna be on none of that crap. But one thing you gonna tell me, bruh, get into them books. And one thing I do a lot of book shopping.
Right.
And the youngsters know, like, I get into them books, you know what I'm saying? When I go underground, I'm in the books, you know what I'm saying? So with that being said, man, it's gonna take a lot, you know. It's gonna take, like, you know what I'm saying, real leaders stepping up without no money involved, you know? 'Cause that's what it's all about, you know what I'm saying? These cats is like, you know what I'm saying? You know, they Sambo, they Negroes, you know what I'm
Telling
saying?
you.
Like they just
It's
disgusting.
very few that's out here doing the
Disgusting,
work.
man.
Shout out to Endangered Kind, man.
Yeah.
That,
You know, they just doing
as
like,
I
you know.
paint the sea, it's man. Shout out to them guys.
Yeah, a
That's
lot
really
of guys,
boots on
like
the
I've been
ground.
seeing a lot of brothers, man, from out of town, man. They really doing a lot of
Ain't they?
work, man. I'm talking about
No,
outside of
seriously. No, I'm currently working with Paul in DC.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, for
Oh man,
sure.
them brothers in Baltimore.
They doing their thing.
I'm talking about Baltimore, man.
No, for sure.
I'm talking about Baltimore.
Mhm.
Like I never seen nothing like out Baltimore, man. I'm talking about like Baltimore is like, I don't know too much history about Baltimore, but I'm just talking about the work that they doing down there with like black men and black women. Is like, I'm talking about without the government involved. They don't want a pat on the back. They don't, like, you could tell these people really love human beings. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, and that's just one state that I'm seeing.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? I'm seeing a lot over in that LA too. You know what I'm saying?
I haven't too much seen what's going on in LA, but I did see I see what's going on in Chicago. Chicago got a lot going on.
Chicago got a lot going on, you know,
got
but
a lot
it's just
going on,
like, you know, Chicago have a lot going on, man. And shout out to GC, man, you know, Golden Child. They doing a lot out there too, you know. And like I say, man, the thing about it is when you can tap in with like the threats.
Yeah, absolutely.
The so-called threats.
Yeah,
when you can get in with the threats, like, you know what I'm saying? Because
telling
the threats is in with you.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So like when you could really tap in with the threats, man, in the city, is like, I'll be behind closed doors with the threats, and like, you know what I'm saying, this can't put it on you can't put it on the gram and none of that. You know what I'm saying? When you really listen to the threats, like, you really like, yo, these motherfuckers are some beautiful people, man.
Really.
It's just at the end of the day, they utilizing their influence. And the influence that they utilizing is like, it's senseless. You know what I mean? It's a senseless influence, you know what I'm saying? But it's like they all in, they willing to work. But at the end of the day, they not having no 12 involved. They not having no type of provocateur agents. They not having nobody that was a rat and now you ain't a rat.
You're a
reformed rat. They ain't having none of that. You know what I mean? So with that being said, man, like, you know, that's what's going on right now, man. Shit can really change, man. At a heart of a dime, man, shit can change, man. It is changing, like, you know what I mean? Because bros is really behind the scenes, really like, you know what I mean?
It's not nothing that can happen overnight, but it's happening.
Oh, it's happening. You doing it. You doing it. I'm doing it. You know what I mean? And you know, anybody that really been through them feds is like really like certified, like they doing it. You know what I mean? Anybody that really been in them feds is really like sturdy. They really putting in like work, like, you know what I'm saying? They really doing a lot of give back, but it's just like a lot of times they don't want the publicity. Yeah. And like with me, I don't want that publicity stuff. You know? I don't want that shit.
Really hip that. No. Ain't about that.
You know, so with that being said, man, it's just like I'm waiting for somebody, you know, really pop and holler at me in the city, man, because I really want to get back in these streets in Philadelphia, man. And it's just, I know what I can do.
For sure. I know what I can do.
I know what I can do in Philadelphia, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Shout out to Youth Motivation University, you know, Motivational Youth. Brother, the brother that always be at everywhere, man, speaking for Philadelphia.
I know who you're talking about. Motivate the youth, right?
Yeah, Motivational Youth. That brother, like, you know, that brother know, man, he doing a lot of the work, bro. Like, you know what I mean? I just feel as though like he don't get his just due. He don't get his just due, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I see that brother doing a lot of work, speaking for the city. You know what I'm saying? Loud and proud, you know what I mean? And it's just like, he don't get a lot of his just due, man. He do a lot for the city as far as like, and I just want to tell that brother, man, just like, you know what I mean? Don't let nobody piggyback off of you. You know what I mean? You doing the work, and like, you know what I'm saying? Because that's what people try to do. Cats that had their platform, they had they shine, they shit died. They trying to piggyback off you now, you know what I'm saying? To get a little 5 minutes of fame, you know what I mean? They probably did some goofball shit.
That's a bunch of the stuff going on. That's a melting pot.
Yeah, that's what's going on. I see that a lot, you know what I mean? So a lot of times, man, you gotta be mindful of who goes on your platform, who's
That's how I feel about dotting them. Like, a lot of people try to gravitate to them because they got the streets for real. They really got the youth. And, you know, what they're doing is amazing.
Yeah,
like
but Doc
they in
been
it,
doing it though. He
yeah,
been doing it
yeah,
low
yeah,
key.
yeah. No. But now they going to every hood. You didn't see them. They was out Wilson. They was down Pentown. I'm talking about they everywhere. I love that for them. Shout out to Endangered Kind, man. They really boots on the ground.
And
They dumb.
they know, like, you know,
They dumb.
with it being said, man, if you can't really leave like outside of your hood, man,
No,
and all you
seriously,
like,
you ain't doing nothing.
ain't doing nothing. Like, you
You
know
ain't
what I
doing
mean?
nothing.
Like, I'll be in every city.
Bottom line.
Every city,
Bottom
you
line,
name it.
for sure.
You know, every city. Ain't nothing
Absolutely.
happening to me. He ain't threatened, ain't none of that happening, man. Like, you know, because once again, it's like when you've been in the feds and you've been networking in the feds, man, you networking once again with
Bottom line.
leaders. So when you're dealing with leaders
Worldwide.
from these worldwide leaders from all over,
For sure.
you going into these cities and states with these leaders. And when you with these leaders, man, you got really like a carpet, man, rolled out for you, you know?
Thanks.
So, you know, like I say, Philadelphia is just like, you know, it's very geographical. They still going off that old back in the day crap, you know what I mean? Nobody ain't really trying to hear it, man. Then it's like everybody keep trying to blame these youngins, man, you know? These youngins is not like, they not the case, man, you know what I mean? A lot of y'all felt them, you know? A lot of them felt them, you know what I mean? Like real rap. I know that. So, you know, again, like, man, shout out to like a lot of the youngins out there. Y'all know who y'all are, you know, but for the most part though, man, I really think Philadelphia is gonna get the gravity back to get like, you know, get the ball back rolling again, you know what I mean?
Pray so.
Yeah, they're gonna get it back.
Pray
You
so.
know, that's one thing about Philly, you know how they do it.
So young Puff and SL, right? What would be your message to him, or any encouragement you would have for him?
Say that again.
Young Puff and SL.
I don't even like talking about him.
He could help somebody.
Yeah, he can.
But if you were you now able to talk to that Puff, what would you say to him?
Disrespect. I'm just gonna say like this, that was a disrespectful motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, if I had something to say to him, man, all I can say is educate yourself first, you know? Because educate, that's the whole thing. Is like, you gotta understand, coming up, we wasn't really educated, man. We was really stripped from a lot of that. And a lot of bros really go, you ever notice like when you go to prison, like you hear some of the brothers say some of the brightest things, and you be like, damn, like, you know what I mean? And it's just like, I really want to see you come out to the streets and really do it. You know what I'm saying? You hear bros talk about, you know what I'm saying, how you hear how intelligent they are. You hear they got their Instagram now, they saying kind words, this, that, and the third. And you see with me, like, you know, cats may see me on the joint, see me suited up, bow tied up, you know what I mean? And laughing, and you know what I'm saying? That shit come off, you know what I mean? Like, that's the old Puff, you know what I mean? But it's like, it's like really tucked down, you know what I mean? And sometimes that old Puff be trying to, you know what I mean? When I see little slick shit, little smart shit, you know what I'm saying? That I know that I take that belt off, and they be like, but it just be the old Puff, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's hard, man. I'm gonna just tell you, like, it's like what I'm doing, like, it's not easy, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause I still be wanting to, you know what I mean? But then what I be really wanting.
What do you think your biggest challenge is?
Just seeing what I'm seeing out here, like, you know what I'm saying? The voices that I'm seeing that, like, ain't never have a voice and, like, got the voice, then you like, what the fuck, where you come from? The fuck you saying? Like, you know what I mean? It's just like, man, recant that word, bro. Go back on social media and tell them that you ain't mean to say that to all your followers. And you know what I mean? Like, that's not really who you are, man. You know what I mean? So it's just like, really, like, I can have a hell of a play. I don't want that. You know what I mean? What I really want is just like, you know, to get a hold of these leaders, man. Because, you know, you got a lot of these youngsters out here. It's times where as though, you know, when they reach out to me, like, you know what I'm saying, to get with some leaders in the city, you know what I'm saying, as far as the crime. And like, I'm like, man, I'm not getting with them youngins, you know what I mean? They my homies. Like, I'm not going to get with them. And then at the end of the day, you sell them out. You telling them what you can do for them, and you sell them out. And at the end of the day, they got animosity with me. So you really see, the whole thing is about this mass manipulation that's going on with these, you know what I'm saying?
For sure.
These old farts and young farts, you know what I'm saying? It's coming with this game. They coming with this manipulation. So they trying to use different platforms. And that's what I was trying to explain to you about the brother Motivated Youth. You know, like they piggybacking off of brothers that got the platform, you know what I mean? Because they played their hand wrong, you know what I mean? And you see me, I ain't playing my hand wrong. I'm not gonna play it at all, because at the end of the day, I would like to get with sisters such as yourself, brothers over here, because sisters such as yourself, I know the influence you got with other real ones, you know,
Right.
and you know the influence I got. But
For
at the end of the day, we ain't got the government all in our
Yeah.
what y'all doing, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
for
Because
sure.
now they trying to control and trying to dictate how we deal with our hood. Like, no, you
Absolutely.
can't dictate
At all.
how we deal with our hood. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Because it's the language of how we speak to our hood.
Right.
You know what I mean? And the minute you start doing that, you're gonna be a sellout, man. And at the end of the day, your hood gonna be the one that get you snooped up out of here. You know what I
I'll
mean?
tell
And
you.
that's real rap.
Yeah.
So that's why I can come to, you know, different environments and different, you know, establishments, and I can stand out and not saying nothing, I'm untouchable. You know what I'm saying? Because you know the guys, I'm amongst my people every time I'm in the city.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But what I'm trying to say at the end of the day is just like, you just can't be a sellout.
Bottom line.
Be a sellout, man. Don't let nobody give you like, you know, a chicken bone and some biscuits and some a couple dollars, and you know what I mean, a shout out, and you like selling your whole hood out. Now you want to call different individuals that, like, you know what I mean, and you got some
Validate
great people that come through the hood and do what they supposed to do. And you got to understand the sellouts is the ones that's like didn't make it yet.
Oh.
You understand what I'm saying? The ones that
Ooh.
didn't make it yet. We ain't talking about the
Ooh.
ones that made it, because the ones that made it, they trying and they showing like the
Damn.
initiative to do it, the work. You know what I'm saying? We talk about the ones that like looking for a name, clout chasing, saying little slick shit, and it's like, damn,
For
bro,
sure.
like, you know what I mean? And that's just basically what it is,
Yeah.
man. You know, I see a lot of goodness coming out of Philadelphia once again, man. I can't really beat it down. I see a lot of goodness, man, but I see a lot of like clout, man. That clout chasing shit is really getting out of hand, you know what I mean? And there's a lot of sisters out here that's like outside of yourself, like, you know what I'm saying, that have a lot of potential to really do a lot of work, you know. And I really think, like, you know, it's gonna really take a lot of individuals that's really coming in it from the heart without like no money involved, you know.
Absolutely.
That's what it's gonna really take, you know.
For sure. Give me a funny prison story.
The old Puff.
Yeah, the old one. I want the old one. I know he got one.
I think the funniest thing was, like, you know, I was in the visiting room one day,
Mm-hmm.
and my visit was terminated, you know, and the visit was terminated because I wrote an officer up one day, and he terminated my visit to just be sarcastic.
Goof.
And I really needed the visit.
Yeah.
You know, I really needed that visit because I
Yeah.
just got out the hole.
Mm.
So the whole thing is I really needed the visit. And all right, the visit was terminated. So however, the officer was working my block one day. And you know, we had the block. Me and my homies, we had the block. The
Yeah.
officer was kind of like scared and leery. You could tell he was like kind of scared and leery. And I seen him like always just at the door, like he didn't really want to do no walk around the block.
Yeah.
He didn't want to like walk through the block, you know what I mean? And what happened was, like, you know, once I seen him like walking doing his tours, I just pushed the door away and just, you know what I'm saying, where's those scared him, just to let him know, like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Stop oppressing and antagonizing like us as prisoners, you know
For
what I mean?
sure.
But I was laughing in my mind because I know it scared him, you know what I mean? I
Half
knew
the
he
death.
like came from a rural area. He wasn't like from where we was from, you know what I mean? But it all started
Yeah,
from
they
like
always draw.
terminating my visit, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? But I was just through the door and just watched him, like, you know what I mean? But you know, oh, my bad, you know what I mean? But it's just, I was laughing in my mind, but I got away with it because at the end of the day, it's the thinking in me, whereas though I didn't catch no write up,
For sure.
I ain't get nothing. I just
Yeah.
instilled that fear in him, though, you know what I mean?
'Cause
And
you
then
know
just
you
made the
scared
eye
to
contact, made the eye contact with him, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And then just like from there, in my mind, psychologically, I seen how he like, how I was carrying him, like, you know what I mean? That was the funniest thing to
For
me, you know
sure.
what I mean?
Absolutely.
Because I ain't put my hands on none of the bros. I ain't like, it was
Yeah.
just strictly on what?
Yeah.
It was on the police,
Bottom
you know what I
line.
mean? And then at the end of the day, it was like the guy seen that too. So a lot of times, man, it'd be like, my issues be with, like, you know what I'm saying, officers that be real oppressive,
Trying to tell
you know, and like all of them is not bad, you know what I
No,
mean? Like, so,
no.
you
But the
know,
ones that are, they the
yeah, for sure,
scum of the earth.
for sure.
Scum of the earth.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Like that trollop that denied their food.
Oh, I
to
seen that.
Muncie. Coming back.
I seen that.
I'm spinning the block. I'm a spinner.
I seen
I'll
that.
be back.
I seen that. I seen you come back, man. You came back like shit. Right
Mhm.
back.
Right back.
Yeah, you
The
came back
crazy
right
part
back.
about that, bro, they didn't want me to come right back. When I called them and was like, I'm gonna do a makeup date, he said, okay, what you thinking, like 2-3 months? I said, oh no, what y'all got this
But
week?
they
I
say
want to
something
come
about
before
some
the year.
food. What they say something about some food wasn't hot
The
enough or
food
something
wasn't
like
hot
that.
enough. I
Did you
brought
have
it
a
up there in the
thermometer in
oven.
it?
Put it up there in the oven.
Oh yeah.
That truck is an
But
oven.
you see what I'm saying though? That's what I'm talking about. Like, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? That certain
That oppression.
yeah, like abuse of authority,
Yeah.
official
Yeah.
oppression. Like,
Bro,
you know.
first of all, right, when we got up there, the chaplain give me the directions. He said, when you get to the gate, make it right, take it all the way back around.
Mhm.
You want to see the warehouses, right?
You
So he
did
tell
just
me,
that.
Did just that. Bootlicker chase us down. He got a rifle in his passenger seat. What are you doing back here? Like, nigga, I'm back here for fun. What are you like? Who just rides up to the president?
Black George Zimmerman.
You understand?
Mhm.
I said, I'm a vendor. I was told to come this way by the authorities,
Mhm.
you know, the people I'm in communication with. Well, nobody belongs back here.
Yeah.
Again, I was given directives. I'm following them. That you want to see him? He says, no, you going in
Yeah,
over
the
there. So
worst
what are we
kind.
talking about? Like what?
See, you
What the
see what
fuck
I'm
was
saying?
that?
That's
Like
the
it was
worst
so
kind.
crazy. That was the first time. The second time, when they told us we couldn't bring the food in. Well, I left the food. That's yours. I'm not taking it back. Give it to the ladies. That's theirs.
Wow.
They said the girl stood in front of the car. Like she wasn't about to let us back up. I said, hey, why? Push the gas. Like,
I see how you had
man,
to check little Becky, you know.
Becky slid the door open on
Yeah,
her.
I seen
Like
that.
she slid the door open. I said, number one, allow her to open her door because I don't think I'm that far removed. You understand? I don't know if my heart could have took that.
Yeah, but the whole
You
thing
open my
the whole
door.
thing was we not gonna lose you to that little
You
ass county
understand?
jail though.
But this is what I'm saying. That's why everything decreed by Allah, and it played out the way it was supposed to play out. But I'm glad she was on that side of the
Yeah.
door and not my side of the door
Yeah.
because I don't think I'm strong enough for that yet.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm there.
But this is
I
why
don't
you
know
gotta
if I could be met with that
always
challenge.
have your peoples around you.
What?
Always keep your peoples all lit, man. No matter
Bro,
where you at.
I
Keep
said
your
this is
peoples around
crazy.
you.
That's why, like in the video, like with the back and forth, I couldn't believe it was traumatizing because you got to remember, I'm a former inmate.
Mm-hmm.
The way she was talking to me, like
prisoner.
Yeah, but there we go. I'm a former prisoner, and she was talking to me as if I was one.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck is happening here? You don't got no authority over me.
Oppressed.
Like the fact that she thought that she had some authority over me was insane.
Mm-hmm.
Like they were really trying to instill fear.
Mm-hmm. Instill fear, and guess what? They get it all, and that's why I say at the end of the day, I pop my bottle on them every time I pop my bottle on them. And guess what? When I pop my bottle on them, niggas, excuse my language, Negroes fall in line. Negro peons, because that's what y'all are. Negro peons. Y'all Negroes like fall in line, and that's what I'm saying. Like
she said, they told the state rep that the truck was a cooling truck, not a heating truck. It's a dual truck. Mm-hmm. it's not one, it's both. Mm-hmm. You misread the truck. All you see on that side is cool. Right. Babe, it's on both sides. One says cool, one says hot. Mm-hmm. Sorry.
Yeah, the whole thing is just trying to put you through the bullshit. That's
look at that. You're wrong.
Yeah, that's what they do.
See, the thing is, where did you get that thermometer from? Is it calibrated, right? Mm-hmm. I shouldn't have even been dealing with y'all because which one of y'all from food service? Mm-hmm. I told her, I said, I'm not only ServSafe certified, I administer the test. I know the book front to back. Mm-hmm. You were supposed to use the thermometer while it's in the truck. Right. Understand? Before you removed it and put it in the cold air. Right. When we're at 18 degrees.
Mm-hmm. What prison was that?
Muncie.
Holy shit.
Muncie.
Damn. Muncie.
So
I remember I had that sister Merle Africa.
I'm putting the food on the flatbed.
Okay.
It's dropping temperature. It's outside in the cold. Why would it drop temperature?
Y'all
really waiting for me to unload the entire truck. So it's reducing temperature because that's what it does. Mm-hmm. But had you tested when it was in the truck at the 160? Guess what it would test it? 160.
Sisters, was you able, not to cut you off, was you able to really, is they setting something up to where as though you're going?
I'm fighting them for it. They told the sisters they gotta contact me for a refund. So, you know, quite naturally, they don't know. They don't know what's going on. They only know what they being told. They telling them like, oh, the food wasn't right. We couldn't let y'all serve. So first of all, the women in the prison reach out to me and they say, like, they telling you we couldn't get the food because it was cold. They gave us cold roast beef and mashed potatoes. So they can't get the cold food that they paid for, but they can get the cold food that y'all serving them. Make it make sense.
Yeah.
Make
See,
it
that's
make
what I
sense.
be trying to say, man. Like the oppressing, man. Like that oppressing shit is just
Yeah.
like, and that's why I do like when I was like doing my time, and I do a lot of my time in solitary confinement, man, because I just got a temper of assaulting officers, man, with the
seriously,
bullshit.
they make you.
And I'm not getting assaulted by them.
Seriously,
Like
listen.
y'all gonna give me my
Yeah.
time. I do a shit
For
14
real.
months, a year in the hole. But at the end of the day,
And
we're gonna
I
put
push
some
that
respect.
pen. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, I push that pen too. I push the pen
that pen
too.
heavy. That's
I
why
put
I
it
don't
on my
they don't know no better.
1983 USC civil suits.
What?
You know,
All
I
that.
exhaust
Let's
all my
have it.
administrative remedies. I go
Let's
through
have it.
the United States District, Eastern, Western courts, wherever. If
Yeah,
I'm
they
out Pittsburgh,
tripping.
but
They
again, like
ain't getting away with that.
sometimes,
You know what really broke my heart? One of them sisters called and was like, they was like, it's alright, so I know you tried. Like, you ain't worried about the money. And I'm like, no, it's not cool. Like, I'm gonna get your money. They was like, they always do this to us though. So we like used to, you know, the women don't really got a voice. Man, broke my heart.
they don't really got a voice.
Who don't got a voice? Man, I'm your voice. Don't worry about it. I got you.
Yeah, and you see what I'm saying?
Tripping. I'm
You
not
see what I'm
letting that
saying though?
ride.
Like, that's what I'm trying to explain to you. Like, what you doing is recognizable.
I can't,
you know what I mean?
let that
And then
ride.
you doing it on a state. You doing it on a state level, whereas though you just was doing federal.
For sure.
So like at the end of the day, you doing the state level, but you just was doing federal. So that's heavy.
Yeah, for
you know what I'm saying? That's heavy, man.
For sure. Man, at the end of the day, that cell, that wall in that cell, when you turn on your right side, it's cold. I don't give a fuck what jail you in.
Right.
You understand? We all felt that same air, that same
air,
emptiness.
yeah.
That same what?
Yeah, and I know that because at the end of the day,
it's
man,
the same.
I do a lot of time.
Yeah.
Like I do a lot of time.
The metal bunks, that's the same.
You know, and like
I don't care where you doing that time, it is the same. So you don't forget that. And I can't allow that. I can't do that. I don't forget that them nights and days that I walk with them women. Like, no, I don't forget that. Forget that.
And that's why I say if nothing else, man, if I don't do nothing else.
20. My neighbor, one of my neighbors, she told me, you're gonna turn 21 in prison. She ain't lie.
21.
Turn 21 in prison.
21.
Fuck
man,
you,
I was
April.
in there, man. Yeah. Oh, that's her name, April. April.
Yeah, fuck April. She told me that. She said, you're going to be 21. You're going to be in prison by the time you're 21. My 21st birthday, we all sitting around the table. They looking at me. They like, how you feel? Like, I want to beat April the fuck up.
Yeah, for telling you that, man. Yeah.
April eyeing me. She said I was going to be in prison by the time I turned 21.
Yeah, that shit is definitely like, man. Like I say, that's why I say, man, we got to avoid that, man. Like, even going on their premises, man, even going through that crap, man. We can't, like, you know, we can't lose a sister like you.
No,
you know?
For sure. It was definitely a reminder, though. It was definitely a great reminder that, you know what I mean, how they get. And that I got to work on me. You know what I mean? I got to work on me because I'm not all the way there.
Right, but the whole thing is going to come with
that one situation could have cooked me.
I seen it trick.
I seen it triggering you. Cooked me.
That's probably it. But the whole thing is though, man, it's how like you gotta have brothers around and sisters around that's really like, you know what I mean?
No, for sure.
For you, man. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Like,
a team is imperative.
Yeah, man. Like, you know, it just bothered me. Like you seeing you out there, knowing that we know how to basically like de-escalate the situation.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And it's just like you would have went tipped on them. We would have tipped, and it's just like we lost. Like we would have lost because look, we got you. Like, you know what I mean? You here with us. You know what I mean? You belong to us. You know what I'm saying? In our community, like, you know what I mean? Now you in goddamn Ku Klux Klan community. You know what I mean? Like real rap though. You know, and ain't nobody gonna say that. They gonna say all the wrong things in the comments. Gonna say all the wrong things to you. All the yes. You know what I mean? But we can't lose individuals. Once again, it all goes back to leaders. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like we real heavy. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And that's what we can't forget. We heavy. You know.
For sure.
You know, without the cock riding shit, you know what I mean? Riding the bandwagon and none of that crap, you know? So, you know, with that being said, man, like, you know, I'm definitely seeing the work you putting in, you know,
I appreciate that,
without
bro.
a doubt. Yeah. And it's like I say, sometimes sometimes I'm in the city, I can make it to the city, sometimes I can't, you know what I mean? But,
I
you
know
know, I
that.
definitely have to pop
Nah,
out on you.
I know your love blindfolded, man. I
Yeah,
already know
you
how
already
you
know.
coming.
You already know.
I got a controversial question for you.
What's that?
How do you feel about the Fuck the Streets movement?
I ain't rocking with it.
Why?
How can we say that? How can we sit up here and say that?
Give
How
it
can we say
context.
that? Just me personally.
Mm.
I got my brothers and my sisters that's still in the streets.
Mhm. Mhm.
When you see me going in the streets, suited up, final calls, newspapers,
Yeah,
our obligations is the streets.
for sure.
I gotta go out in the streets. Yo, what's up? Y'all going out to go soldier today? Yeah, we gotta go out in the hood and bring some brothers back to the mob. That's the streets.
Thanks.
So how can I say that and I gotta go? I'm instructed to go out to the streets.
For sure.
This is my instructions. My instructions is every time you see me with a suit, I'm instructed to go. It's not that I want to go. I'm instructed to go. So if I'm instructed to go, I can't say that. You know what I mean? Because I might be running across your people that's in the streets, his people that's in the streets, her people that's in the streets. That's my obligation. And the streets made me who I am. I don't regret nothing that I did. None of that. No, I don't have no type of regrets. Oh, I wish I would have did this. My mom, nah, I don't have that. I'm not dealing with that. You know what I mean? So when you say that, you just being selfish. You know, you just on some like, you know. Now it comes like, you know, it's a gray area in there because, you know, when you say F the streets, are you talking about the crime? You know, I just can't say like F the streets just all in all. I can't just say that because we still have people out here that we trying to get up out the streets.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just my obligation to get my people up out the streets. Then the only way we can get them out the streets is if we in the streets.
Heavy. Heavy. What's one item on commissary that can't be traded?
That can't be traded?
Yeah.
Mackerel.
Mackerel? You can't have a mackerel.
You can't trade that.
You can't trade the
Can't
mackerel.
trade mackerel.
Bottom line. All right.
Shit,
This is a question that I ask everybody. Do you feel like a man or woman coming home from prison should get into a relationship?
I don't think so.
Why?
Only thing relationship I think you should get into is with the one that's there with you as you're going through trials and tribulations behind the penal system. So meaning that if I'm dealing with you and we together and, you know, you on the visiting floor with me, you know, faithfully, you know, we must get married. We must do what we're supposed to do as long as you didn't violate the code of honor. And that's pregnated, you know what I'm saying? No type of STDs or anything like that. Like, you know, it's my obligation to go ahead and put a ring on it and lock in and really avoid any distractions with the women. Because at the end of the day, it's like, you know, you've been down for me. All I know is you. And that's how I give it back. That's how I give back to you. You know what I mean?
For sure.
That's the right thing to do, you know? Yeah. But you can't have like, you know, no type of, you know, I had a child and you trying to, because now I got to deal with like, you know, the shenanigans of your significant other and,
absolutely,
you know, so that's like big, you know. That happened to me.
It happened to you.
It happened to me, you know. So the reason why I say that, because I know like it's real, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's real.
Yeah. I feel like one of the worst things you could do returning to society is bring somebody else into your world or go into somebody else's world, because the world out here is transformed so many times over and you're not developed for the new world yet. Right. Because you're coming from a world of incarceration, which is a realm all of its own. So then you have to unlearn these behaviors and all of the things. For sure. So you can't bring somebody along with that, to me.
But once again, it goes back to what I'm saying. Like, if you are already building with an individual for mad years and they coming up there to come see you 9 times out of 10, y'all already working it through. in the worstest way.
Yeah,
You
I
know?
mean that's different if somebody riding, but to
Yeah.
come home and get into
Oh
a
no, to come
relationship,
home and get into a relationship, I think you can come
it's
home and get into
dangerous.
therapy.
Yeah.
That's the first
That's
thing you
right.
can go to,
No,
you know what I'm saying?
seriously, that's one of the biggest worst myths among our people is that we black people aren't supposed to do therapy.
Therapy, it goes back to what I was expressing when I was explaining to you about, you know, being in prison and getting caught up in like, you know, violent fights and, you know,
Absolutely.
mental health.
Absolutely.
It's the mental health, you know. So once
Absolutely.
again, like think about other brothers and sisters that's coming home that really going through the same thing I was going through, you know, and now they think they able to, you know, deal with a relationship like
And
it.
I feel like our men got it the worst because they're taught, we're all as African Americans more often than not taught suppression, right? Because you get a beat and the first thing they do is shut up. Like how the fuck does
You're
that work?
supposed to let it
How
out.
how does
Yeah.
that work? But it's even worse with a boy because you're not, I mean, you ain't supposed to
Yeah.
cry. You know, so
But I don't know who tell like I'm honestly, men don't do that to men. It
course
usually
not.
be the woman that does that
Of
to
course.
men. You know what I
Because
mean?
surely she can tell a man how to be a man.
Yeah, but
The
again,
hell?
like you could tell your man, you could tell your little boy how to do that. But at the end of the day, it's like
A
how I
woman
look
can
at
never
it like
teach a man how to be a man.
yeah, I look at it
It's
like this.
impossible.
Well, women teaching little young boys is like, all right, even if you scoring behind your kid's father and you don't deal with your kid's father and you hate him that much, two things. You either want your little boy to be like you, and you know how he gonna be if he be like you, or you want him to be like your father, his father that you don't like. Which one you want him to be like? Remember, you don't like the father. You don't want him to see the father. You don't want him to be like the father. Who you want him to be like? You. So you know what's gonna happen if he be like you, right?
Right.
So you know you gotta really pick a side when you know you really like got that really that hate in your heart towards, you know, the kid's father. Like, you know what I mean? Who you want him to be like?
For sure.
Despite you not liking him, he gotta be like someone. He gotta be a carbon copy of someone.
For sure.
You know, he gotta be a carbon copy of a man. You know, he gotta be a man. You know, and a lot of times, man, that's what's happening to our young boys, man. They turning like, you know, yeah. You know, so, you know, shout out to the strong mothers that's out there that's trying, you know, but you got to have a male figure in a life, man, that's really like, you know, teaching these babies at a young age, man, what a man is, you know.
For sure.
You see how he was getting out the car and I'm had a little brother like, you know what I mean?
For
Like,
sure.
that's mandatory, you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's mandatory.
Yeah, it used to be that even in the neighborhoods when the father figure wasn't in the house, you still had that reinforcement and from the village. You know what I mean? That's what we're really missing is the village, unfortunately.
Yeah, they around. It's just they being stripped.
Mm-hmm.
They being
I
stripped.
agree,
you know?
1,000%.
You know, when you coming home, like, you know, the government got it where as though the woman making more than the man. You know, and at the end of the day, the man is coming home from prison. The man got to go to a baby mama house. And
Well, that and you got to remember the mothers got a lot younger and they don't want their kids being talked to and treated how they were treated. And you can't chastise my kid and you can't say nothing to my. I be telling them all the time, them kids that walk up and down the avenue, those Strawberry Mansion, Blaine, and all of them kids around there, they all know Miss Inside. Because I be in their business. Where you going? Why you out here this late? Come on. I'm about to walk you over here. I'm about to go over here with you. I'm in their business because I come from village.
Right.
So that's all I know. And I'm going to always be there. I don't care who it offends. Get your ass in and get something to eat. Get your ass in and get something to eat. Sit down. What you about to do? What you got on you? You better not, I be in their business. They be like, Auntie be drunk. I don't care. Yeah. But that's what we listen.
Auntie care though.
Auntie, and they know it.
Yeah,
they know
care.
It. Look, the little boy last night, he walked. So put that damn phone. And he like, I said, what you gonna do if somebody come up on you? He said, I'm stressed. I said, such a cuss him out. He laughed. He like,
taking charge, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Taking charge.
Guess what he did? He put that phone away.
Yeah.
He put that phone away, and he became more aware of what he doing. Pay attention. You
I like that, but that's rare though.
And he walked back past the store this morning. I love you, Aunt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like.
Because you showed that love.
Bottom line.
You showed that love.
Bottom line. Genuine care and concern.
Yeah, you showed that love. And then when you like that universal, can you imagine like I'm like that in every city and state I
sure.
go to?
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
It's
So like
important,
when you do
it's
that,
important.
you know that, you know, we gonna go haywire about anything transpiring with you. You know, and you seeing that more. Like when things is happening to like strong women, strong men popping out.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what I was explaining to you earlier about.
Sure.
You know what I mean? How to carry it, you know what I mean?
Sex, for sure.
Yeah, that's how we carry it. You know what I mean?
Bottom line.
You know?
That's the way it's supposed to be.
Because we out here.
Sex.
We out here. You know,
Oh man, bro.
This is dope though, man.
I appreciate
you know I'm taking my food with me, right?
You better. That's
I take my food, man.
We already talked about what was in the bowl, but I was about to say what's in your bowl.
Oh man, I got what? Refried beans, green peppers, onions, yellow peppers, orange peppers. Got them.
And what you named that, John?
This is just you get out the shoe. This is the shoe, RHU get back. You know, so when you sitting in the shoe in the RHU for damn near 9 months, you sitting in there 9 months, man. You just trying to put this your first cheese as soon as you get out. You know what I mean?
Out the joint.
Yeah, and guess what, man? This is to get back. This is to get your back, get your body back. You know what I mean? Hell yeah, you know. That's only if you play that shoe. You know what I mean? Like I told you, I'll be out here with you one day and be in the shoe tomorrow. You know,
fishing.
Because it be the respect, man. You know what I'm saying? When you're giving that respect, man, we popping for that respect. You know, so you know it comes from that though, man. But you know, that's the old Puff though.
There you go.
You know,
one of the better,
old Puff,
bigger things.
Yeah, really feeling the show though, man. Like I really had to come out here and really get on it, man. One time you kept telling me when I'm coming out here, I'm out here now, man. You know.
Yeah, you pull right up too.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Right up. I appreciate that, bro.
Without a doubt.
So y'all have been tuned into another episode of Chatting Over Chi-Chi's with my brother, man. I'm so excited. Thanks for stopping by, bro.
Yeah,
what's your socials so the people can follow you? All the ones that ain't, I know then everybody is, but.
Yeah, my social is Worldwide Tyreek. Worldwide Tyreek, Tyreak. You already know what it is, you know what I'm saying? Representing that tri-state, you know. Again, Worldwide Tyreek.
Make sure y'all following my brother. Click the link below. Chatting Over Chi-Chi's, SY_Moneybags, Size Palace, Locked In Love. You already know. Stay informed. We out.
Yeah. Step into space. Black Wall Street, podcast space. Book my spot, now I'm ready to create. Black Wall Street, podcast space. Dreams, I'm building my fate. Mic in my hand, got story to tell. Comfort in the room, man, I'm feeling myself.
Sounds so clear, you can hear my ambition. Black Wall Street podcast space made an easy transition. So book your space, let your voice be heard. Black Wall Street podcast, spread the word.